Awesome. Thank you. All right. Sandra has the last share. I'm actually going to go down the line to Anjali. Save Maggie here. Starting with Anjali, who I know might have to run soon. Anjali, what does it mean for you, at least in short, to share your story? Oh, thank you.
Thank you. What it means to share my story.
Of course.
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind, honest, is just to be able to hold space to acknowledge communities who don't have access to safe and thriving green spaces. I always try to remind people, because I come from an environmental education background, that most people, if you don't have an opportunity to have a positive experience in nature, you will never learn how to appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a really big part of my story, just growing up in foster care, growing up in South Central LA, moving around a ton. Yeah, nature was not something that I was like taught how to appreciate or even get enough space to do so. So yeah, just more thriving green spaces, more opportunity for people to appreciate the earth, because that's really where behavioral change happens, is through appreciation. So that's
it. Contrary to the fact that I just told my story, I actually haven't ever really considered myself a very good storyteller. When people ask what I do and I say, throughout my career, I've been like, oh, I'm an aquarist. And they're like, oh, an aquarist, that's cool, I'm a Capricorn. No. I run an aquarium. Oh, so you take care of fish and you clean poop. Yes, and so I'm really grateful for you helping to tell my story and just kind of reveal this career that maybe most people don't know about, and the impact that it can have. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So I'm super excited to have gotten to tell my story today. I think it's super important to give people in my community, communities of color, the opportunity to talk about climate issues and climate solutions, especially when they're underrepresented in especially environmental leadership roles. And so I'm really grateful to have gotten this opportunity to tell my story, and also to just talk about a place that I really, really hold near and dear to my heart. The first time I went to Ballona Wetlands was actually in high school. I went on a field trip, and then full circle moment, now I'm the one leading those field trips. And so it's super awesome. And super rewarding as well when you have a student who's never been to a space like this before, and I'm like, that was me, and they see a duck fly and they're like, ducks can fly, and I'm like, I didn't know that either. Like, oh. So it's fun building those connections and getting to teach people about this really important ecosystem and why it matters, and teaching about the endangered El Segundo blue butterfly and why having this habitat is super, super important. And so, yeah, thank you so much for letting me tell my story, and also talk about a place that I really, really love with an organization that does a lot of great work to help with it. So, yeah, thank you.
I think it's important to tell my story. First of all, I'm grateful as well for the platform. I want to say that I'm grateful for all of you who care about Crop Swap LA and what we're doing in growing food on unused spaces. But for me, it's a matter of power. When I see the grocery stores empty and the shelves empty, when I learn about the verticals and how at each level there's theft and manipulation and damage to the environment, corruption and all these levels just to get us the food that we overpay for, I think it's unfair. And so I get to myself and I say, it's about power. Now, the connection between ourselves and nature is one that we're all guaranteed. And growing food is almost accidental if you've ever tried it. It's really quite accidental. You can throw some seeds in there and oh my goodness, you've got way more than you ever need. So there's no reason why we need to go out and get jobs and try to get promotions and try to keep our money right just to get food. We really have that already at our fingertips, literally. And I just want people to see that example so that in the next 5-10 years, when that's going to be used as a tool against us, we can stand up and say, no way, this is a tool that we're going to use for us.
Thank you. I've always been someone that believed in myself, but believed in the version of myself 5 years in the future with some letters behind my name or some experiences that I don't have yet. And if I waited until I had a PhD in atmospheric science, teach about climate change, if I waited until I was a legislator to try to make policy change, we wouldn't have a planet if we all felt that way. So when you reached out to me to be in the series, I was like, oh, I would love to be in this series in 5 years once I have all this climate experience, once I can tell this specific story. But my story matters now, all of our stories matter now, and I'm very grateful.
I just want to say thank you to Project Drawdown for this opportunity to highlight myself and Ackerman, just being able to share the story about composting and that circular economy, bringing everything back to the community so we're composting within a certain radius of where we live, and being able to use the compost to regenerate our land and grow our gardens and the farms and things, all of the stories that everyone else is sharing. So I just want to say thank you and know that your story or the things that you experience in life don't define you or confine you to anything, so you can continue to grow and find all these opportunities in these amazing organizations that help the environment.
Thank you to Project Drawdown, amazing organization that we work with a lot at Support and Feed. So grateful for all your science and all your information. Support and Feed, one of our big missions is actually to tell stories as well, telling the stories of all the organizations that we work with and how what we eat matters in so many different ways. I think we're all really lucky on this stage because we're all in a place where we're taking action. And action, of course, is the kind of only antidote to hopelessness, especially right now. And so we're all very, very lucky in what we do. And I know at Support and Feed, we're so lucky because we're trying to work on these very big concepts of the climate crisis and food equity, but every single day we get to feed people and just make someone's life better on that day. So there's a really immediate presence to that. But when you tell the story of it, then you amplify that impact so tremendously because then other people can see what they can do. And I think that's why storytelling is so important, that as you take action, you let people know how they can join, and then they can get that immense pleasure of combating hopelessness with some kind of action. So thank you for letting us do that.
Thank you all so much. This is so incredible to hear from all of you, and Jemiah said it, the way you said it, you all bring so much power to what you do, but by sharing your story, you're inviting so many others to do that as well. So thank you so much for coming up. Please take your seats again. And so, thank you. On the theme of power, as we get close to wrapping up, I want to just introduce our next performer. And it's the